Hey guys, Mr. H. I am doing question 32 from the algebra or from the August 2025 Algebra 1 Regents exam. They've given us a word problem. They want us to come up with write an inequality, and then they want us to solve it algebraically. So let's read it. It says Vince wants to rent a canoe while he's on vacation. The canoe rental company charges $18 for the first hour and 750 for each additional hour X. If Vince has $78 to spend on renting a canoe, write an inequality in terms of X that models this situation. All right, so there's a bunch of ways to do this. The one thing that's really important is normally when we're given a linear word problem, usually it's in the form of y equals mx plus b. B is the y-intercept, m is the slope. Now this one, we know that it's 750 per hour, so that's going to be the slope, but they don't give us the y-intercept. They didn't say we have to pay $18 up front just to rent the canoe. It says for the first hour, it's $18. So that means that we're not starting at the y-intercept. So if I were doing this, if I were trying to come up with 2 points, I would say one, first hour is $18. The second hour is going to be $18 plus 750, which is going to be 25.50. Right. Now that I have these 2 points, I can come up with the equation or inequality in this case. So I've already kind of done this because I really like to use the calculator when possible because usually when I'm using the calculator, I don't make as many. So let's make this 25.5. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is go to the data and statistics page down here. Well, this is in the way. Can I move this out of the way? Okay, down here, I'm going to put an X over here. Over here, I'm going to put a Y. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do menu 461. So it tells me that the equation is y equals 7.5 x plus 10.5. So that means that I can go back here and I can say the equation for renting the canoe is y equals 7.5 x plus 10.5. Now, how much money do I have? I have $78. So that means I can I cannot go, well, let's see. I can't go over $78. So I'm going to say 7.5x plus 10.5 has to be less than or equal to 78. And this is saying that when I rent the canoe, and this is the cost function, or this is the cost function for renting the canoe, I can't go over $78. So this is the inequality. Now we just have to solve it in order to know the maximum number of hours. So let's go ahead and do that down here. Whoops, I wasn't showing you that. Let me go back and do that little part again. So what I was saying is that once I wrote the equation, I know that the cost function for the canoe, I have to stay under $78. I can spend all $78, but I can't spend more than $78. So this is the inequality. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to solve for X. Now I could graph it. I could treat this as an equation and solve for X as well, but I'm just going to go ahead and use boxes and circles. Box, circle, circle, move this over. This becomes a negative 10.5. So if I subtract $10.50 from $78, I'm going to have $67.50. Correct, correct, correct. Yep. And then over here, I have $7.50 an hour. Divide both sides by 7. Oops, not the X. by 750. And what do I have? So let's grab the calculator and finish it up. So we have, whoops, go here. We have 6750, 67.5 divided by 7.5. And that tells me, oh, I can get 9 hours. So I can canoe for 9 hours. That's my answer. Now, is there anything for me to check? Let's see. Let's check my algebra real quick. So I go back to the calculator. I'm going to do menu 32, set this to 1 since I only have 1. Now I'm going to change that inequality to an equation. 7.5x plus 1050 equals, now this has to be equals even though it was an inequality. And then I press enter and it says 9. So that is cool. The algebra is clean. So if I go back, this is the inequality and this is the number of hours determined algebraically. All right, we're done. I'm going to stop, post. If you have any questions, let me know.